So we're here in Germany, Frankfurt, at the No Code Week with Jin Long. Jin, can you present yourself?
So my name is Jin Long. I was born and raised in China, now living in Italy, in Milan. And I'm a freelancer of internal operational app for small medium business.
What's your background and how did you end up into no code and AI industry?
So I started with a degree in international business and in service design, but I always have a passion for building stuff and solve problems. I realized I'm doing more and more of that, even in my consulting job, in my startup job. So I decided to focus on just building software for clients. So I escaped my 9-to-5 job, finished my startup job as a product manager, and now I'm a full-time building for clients.
Since how many time are you building stuff by your own? And what was your learning journey? And can you give some examples of app and tools that you use?
For building, I started with the Airtable. That was 5 years ago. But for building for clients, it's last 2 years. My own stack is Airtable for backend automations for client projects, NLM for automations. For personal projects, I appreciate a bit more flexibility for AI to do whatever human can do on the UI. So for that, I use Supabase as backend, Verso for deployment. I have clients from China, US, and in Europe. They all from different industries, face different problems, but usually they come from Notions or Google Sheet or Excel when they need to manage their own workflow, and it's becoming not efficient. So they need an app to solve their business problem. But if we find a developer, proper full stack engineer to build it, it takes long and it costs much more money. So no code is perfect middle ground for what they need. You can get fully customized app with much faster development timeline and way lower cost. On the other end, maybe you can choose some SaaS on the market, but again, it's standardized SaaS, you cannot customize the feature. So no code is perfect middle ground between the SaaS and full stack coded app. I'm working with this university accelerator. They have different programs. They select startups and then help them to grow and then track the portfolio, the investment, etc., etc. In the past, the team have different tools spread it across the whole team. They have a Notion, they have a Google Sheet, they have different SaaS. When it's time to do the reporting and to connect all the data to build a dashboard, it's becoming very overwhelming. So what I did, I migrated all these different source of data into Airtable as a single truth. Starting from there, I automate their workflow, from application process to the program to weekly meeting, deliverables, feedback from the team to deliverable, and the startup, all different stakeholders have their own view to check the data they need to see. All of the things are concentrated in one Airtable app for them. That's one example.
What I mean is even a question I ask to myself is when you start a new project, how do you deal? Because right now, basically using Cloud Code, we can build every no-code app that is already existing on the market. So what I mean is you can actually build your own Airtable, for example. But how do you deal with starting a project from scratch and doing the full app in not no-code, but in a vibe coding way?
Okay.
Or actually using no-code tool and connect them between them through N8N workflow, for example. How do you choose to go from scratch and build an app with Cloud Code or others CLI models, or to just connect the dots with no-code application?
So actually, personally, I do both approach for different scenarios. For clients app that need to be used in production, they need a low risk, they need easy to maintain, and they need the workflow to be very reliable. For this case, I choose tool like Airtable because Airtable has a lot of restrictions, and those restrictions are good. So they already have those logic to make sure when you click a button, the thing is not broken, and don't need to debug. They have a lot of these restrictions in place, which actually make the app more reliable. So you can customize within the certain frame. That's actually good for a business production app. But when I do personal project experiment, like experiment explorations, I prefer have no limitation. That's when I start to build from zero with the code, and I host inverser and I code from zero, and post to GitHub. So I have like a full flexibility.
That's true. I think the more you need to be reliable for the customers, the more structure you need, and the less you can easily vibe code, because if you vibe code from scratch, you need to have that strong intention in every part of the code, of the hosting, of the logs, of the security, that finally you will have, even if you got a good setup with good skills and good practices, you will always have a doubt, because kind of the black box of the way you deliver it. And if you relied on no-code tools that are already made their proof, it's kind of less risky. So I think, it's a good approach.
Yeah. Just give an example. Like in Airtable, when you click, let's say one person, one record, you open the detail page. And then detail page is standardized, looking different block. You add stuff, make it editable, not editable. So there are a lot of things you just do simple click, and it's already implemented in a best practice way with no risk. If you want to make exactly same thing with your own code, maybe you need to prompt and correct each decision with the agent. It's gonna take a lot of times.
Many iterations.
Yeah.
All right. I think it was a good short interview. I hope we can see you soon, maybe for a longer video.
Sure.
Good. Thank you, Jin.
Thank you.